Cio, Halito, how y'all doing tonight, this morning? So, I'ma say, Ostasanale, all right? Good day, all right? Thank y'all for tuning in. Wado Yakoki, Shona Bishi, to all that's tuning in live and those that will tune in later, all right? Those that will tune in later. If you're new to my channel, on my channel, you're going to get the gumbo pot of my ancestors, my bloodline, spirituality, and culture. That is Creole, Criollos, Melungeon, Mestizo, Redbone, all the misnomer derivatives that my ancestors have been called. All right, you're going to get a gumbo pot. So we're going to go through some things, and then I will pull some cards for some favored people. So this is the time of the Feast of the Ancestors, honoring our ancestors and loved ones that have passed on. You go to their grave sites, you clean up, you put fresh flowers, you light some candles, you pour out a little liquor, you pour libations, whether that's liquor, water, or their favorite drink. You fix them a plate. If you just cook for your family, you fix them a plate. Or if you want to fix them their favorite foods, you fix them a plate. All right? That's what you want to do to honor your ancestors. All right? So, we're going to dig in. We're going to dive in. So, Creole Pata Gumbo, Creole, Criollo, Spanish, French, along with, of course, the indigenous, the unconquered people's bloodline flows through my veins. So we got the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. We got that. So if you ever got a spirit astrology session reading from me, I might pull this deck out. Also, I got my Santa Muerte deck. All right. For around this time of the year. Yes. Day of the Dead, Day of the Ancestors, Feast of the Ancestors. All right. Feast of our loved ones that have ascended, transitioned. Yeah. So, I got several that I tap into. Of course. Yes. I also tap into the Toltec Oracle, all right, from Mesoamerica. It's all a part of the Americas, all right, but also the Mediterranean. We got the Spanish and the French that, especially the melanated ones that tapped into that forbidden spirituality and culture. So you're gonna get, some of this. All right, if you get a spirit astrology session. All right. So we got that Louisiana. I also have a deck that also has a gumbo pot. It has Haiti, the Haitian Creole, and the Louisiana Creole. I got a deck that incorporates them together. Also, our melanated indigenous relatives from Brazil and other places in the Caribbean. All right. So all that rich gumbo pot. All right. So we got those. I also give herbal tips. This is why I give spiritual, mental, and physical tips. So herbal tips and spiritual tips. I tap into the herbs and the roots with the hoodoo. All right. I will, give you homework. If you get a spirit astrology session from me or a life path session from me, you will get homework on what to do after you get your session, your reading, what to put in your medicine bag or your mojo bag. You'll get that work, that homework. All right. You'll get that. Of course, the flow and the indigenous, I got the medicine woman tarot. All right. If you in the sacred stones and rocks, I got you. Sacred stones and rocks enhance our power. They are like the battery pack that just like enhances our power. All right. And of course, like I said, from Mesoamerica, the Toltec Oracle. All right. All of the dark indigenous people from Central and South America, the ancient ones, passed this knowledge down to the Toltecs, and the Toltecs preserved it. So this was one of my first decks. I had one deck prior to this one, but this was my first one that I really just went hard with. All right, this one and these the Shaman Wisdom cards. These two, I had one deck. That's the first deck, and this was the second and third deck that I tapped into. I was doing spiritual readings, interpreting dreams, visions, just reading people, strangers, all kind of people coming up to me and telling me their whole life story, me giving them a word of wisdom, etc. I've been doing this all my life, but I actually came onto YouTube. I believe it was, I want to say 2013 or 2016, but I was doing readings long before that. So if you want a spirituality session, get at me. My link tree is RRJXITIPS. All right. If you want to go to my store, the link is in the description. All right. The link is in the description. I also have a deck that taps into Haitian Creole and Umbanda and other things. It's just like a gumbo pot type of oracle deck. It's really rich. Really rich. All right. I'll just show y'all. It has the Orishas. So we got the Loas and the Orishas, which I will go over here in a second. Yeah, one of the spirits, I flow with several spirits, but one of the ones is Pambajira and Ishu, especially the feminine aspect of that. So, yeah, I'm going to pull it out. So we got the Oshun energy. All right. I'm going to just show y'all a little bit of this before we go hard. All right. We got the Oba energy. All right. We work with all the spirits, the elementals. I won't say all the spirits. Let me correct that shit. Not all the spirits, but the ones that I flow with, okay? We got the Ogun energy. So we tapping into some Loas and some Orishas. All right. tap into the elements, the animal spirits. If you got a reading from me, I tap into the animal spirits versus the zodiac. So whatever your zodiac is, you have the animal spirit that accompanies it. All right. So we're going to get into some shit, but I'm just giving y'all a little preview of some of the stuff. If you're new to my channel, this is kind of like a pre-introduction to, the new people. All right. We got Yansa. Oh, yeah. On that ass. Powerful energy. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And yes, and this is one of the powerful ones that has manifested in my life that I've worked with. Powerful. The female issue is Pambajira. The many derivatives. One of my monikers is Maria of Seven Crossroads. So if you've been following me for a while or on my journey with me, you gotta know about the Maria of Seven Crossroads. Yeah. Let's see. Just showing y'all a little preview. This deck, I like this one because they did encompass a lot of things. The different elements: earth, air, fire, water, spirit, the energies. And then we got, if y'all can read, y'all can read. Yes. The Baba Orisha. All right. So we got several energies in this deck. We got that powerful Shango energy. All right. And we got that Yemeya. That Yemeya energy. All right. And to all the haters, we got protection. Protection. It's not a game. My ancestors and spirit guides don't play about me. And we got Shapanya. That healing energy. Yeah. Yeah, that healing energy. Yep, that healing energy. And yes, we got the counterpart. This is like the Baron, Mama Brigitte, and her mate. So we got Ishu and the female Ishu, which is Pambajira and Ishu. All right. They at the crossroads. This is Day of the Dead season, where you dealing with ancestors and spirit guides. Excuse me. You also dealing with your loved ones that have passed on and your ancestors that have passed on. They have transitioned, ascended. You dealing with these energies, right? So they at the crossroads. You got Maria, Seven Crossroads, and you got Ishu. He's like Papa Lek, or Baron Samedi is, dealing with the cemetery. All right, the graveyard. You got that energy. Yeah, so I think I have showed y'all a lot. This is kind of like a little mini educational video, but I'm gonna pull some cards for some people that's tuning in. We got Oshala or Obatala. All right, I honor my admixtures. Y'all know I go by the moniker Creole Indigenous Spiritualist. All right, that is a broad term that can kind of like encompass the gumbo pot that I bring to the table. All right. So we got these powerful energies I shared with y'all. All right. So let's go in. All right. So I am Criollos, Indigenous, Mestizo, Melungeon, Redbone, all that and more. That these are misnomers that they have called my ancestors. So I tap into a lot of their spirituality and culture because it is my birthright. All right, Fekere. This is the season that we in. We're approaching it. It's actually November 1st through the 3rd. All right. All Hallows Eve and Samhain. People celebrate that. Yes. I do tap in with my brujas. I got a deck for y'all. My brujas out there. My witches out there. My herbal wise women. They kind of tap into the hoodoo energy with the herbs and roots. Yes. Complementary. These are related. All right. These are related. Deal with a lot of herbs and roots and also the sacred stones and rocks. The crystals, sacred stones and rocks. All right. I'll tap into that. So I got a deck for a lot of major things. Of course, indigenous, the native spirit, the indigenous cards, along with the medicine woman tarot. So if you want a spirit astrology session or a life path session, these are some of the decks that I will use to tap into your past, present, and possible future. It depends on what decisions you make. I can tell you, what can happen if you do A, B, C, or D. I just give you a picture. Sometimes I have vivid visions and I have specific messages for you, and I use the cards and some other things. All right. Like I said, these crystals, sacred rocks, they are the battery pack. They enhance what's going on. All right. So we got that. And I did show y'all the Toltec Oracle. This is, we're approaching the time when you want to tap into that. This is one of in Mesoamerican astrology, this is one of my, what they call, rulers, Tezcatlipoca. Y'all don't want to fuck with Tezcatlipoca with the obsidian smoke mirror. But it is also a tool for you to see yourself and see what you need to work on and heal from, The vulture is one of mine, which is the shaman, the medicine person, the spiritual medicine, physical medicine, the vulture. All right. Yes, and of course, Tepoyoto, the jaguar energy, which is mainly the Jaguar and the Eagle Warriors. They tapped into the spiritual, mental, and physical art of spiritual warfare, spiritual, mental, and physical warfare. They mastered all of those levels. So, and there's some other cards here that tap into things. With the Toltec Oracle deck. Yeah, we got the source of all, the one, the source of all things, the source of life, Tlaloc, and Sentiotl. All right. One deals with rain and one deals with maze. So, all right. So that's just a preview. So in this Wafekere and the Feast of the Ancestors, the celebration of the ancestors. All right. We do have, like I said, the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. So this is a deck that I use a lot during this time. These two, the Santa Muerte deck and the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. I deal with these a lot around this time because this is the season of the ancestors, right? So I'm going to take a couple out for y'all. All right, since we're dealing with the Haitian Creole and the Louisiana Creole. All right, spirituality and culture. All right. All right, this deals with the elements, the earth, air, fire, water, energies. You got in Santeria, because I tap into Santeria too. I mainly deal with Saint Expedite. If y'all know about Saint Expedite, if y'all have an urgent need, get at Saint Expedite. You just gotta give your offering, etc. And it works. We got Olofi. All right. It's dealing with some earth energy. All right. We got Aida Wado and Dambala. We got Dambala too. The counterparts. They always have the feminine and the masculine to balance the energies. So I'm gonna find Dambala so y'all can feel where I'm coming from with the counterparts. Y'all doing all right? I hope y'all doing all right. All right, these two decks complement each other. Yeah. It's some powerful energy. Ochosi. All right. That bow and arrow. Ochosi. The twin energy. That's feminine and masculine. Sometimes they'll have two males or two females, but it's some old stories that deals with fraternal twins. It's always a feminine and a masculine. All right. Shout out to all my Centeros out there that practice Santeria also. All right. We got the infamous Marie Laveau energy. All right, there's many stories and theories about her. But these cards, this New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, I deal with it. You got St. John, Dr. John. All right. The Marasa, these are the twins, Marasa. The masculine and feminine. Forgive me, I misspoke earlier, but yes. The Marasa. The feminine and masculine balance together. Shout out to all my mambos out there. All right, so here is, we got the feminine, which is Aida Wedo, and Dambala. This is the feminine and the masculine aspect. All right, powerful energy. The creation. It's how you create, procreate with feminine and masculine energy. All right. We got that. And this is the dead. All right. All right. They do have the, this is Dambala. That was the fiery Dambala. So they have the fiery one. All right. And then you got Dambala Wedo. It's the fiery aspect of the masculine. All right. And then you got the feminine. So these just, it's a balance. It's a balance. Our ancestors dealt with balance. So this is just a little, introduction. Of course, we got these. All right, I'm gonna show y'all these. It's always good and so-called evil energies. You choose wisely which ones you mess with. You might need to call on some so-called evil ones to ride on your enemies type energy. So, and we deal with who is like your forefront spirit guide. Who is the master of your head? We deal with that. So this, if I do a reading with you, for you, with this deck, it'll reveal some things. And of course, we're dealing with the ancestors. We're dealing with the ancestors. Yes, we're dealing with the ancestors. Day of the Dead, Fet Gede, the feast of the ancestors, the celebration of the ancestors, and your loved ones that have passed on. So, y'all doing all right? Thank y'all for tuning in, those in the chat and those that will show up later. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I've been real busy doing work on my other two partnership channels. The Barons of the Cemetery, the Barons. And this is, you see him at the crossroads. Like, this is the time where the crossroads is real potent. The crossroads are real potent right about now. The crossroads are real potent about now. So these are one of the decks that I tap into. Legba. Yes, the fiery Legba. All right. Around Day of the Dead time. Day of the Ancestors. You got the Azaka energy. And the Gede. All right. There are spirits, ancestral and spirits. You have the dead, and then you have the ones that people don't remember. You know, you have those. So around this time, you go to the grave site, you put fresh flowers out, you put their favorite liquor, etc. On their grave site. You honor your ancestors and loved ones that have passed on. You light some candles, and you give honor and respect. So if you're tuning in, I'm just, giving them a preview of, those that I have done spirituality readings or life path readings for. You get several decks that I tap into. Several decks that I tap into to do your spirituality reading. And I did show y'all the smoked mirror, the Tezcatlipoca card. This one also complements that. So we are all connected, more than y'all fucking think. No matter what spirituality system you tap into, we are connected in some way. All right. It's the Legba energy, Papa Legba energy at the crossroads. So these are some of the decks that I use. If you get a spiritual reading from me or a spiritual session from me. So Day of the Dead, and then we have Carnival Time that's coming up. February, March. So we do have a lot of energies from the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, because I tap into this real heavy around Fet Gede, Dia de los Muertos. All right. I tap into this deck, and I tap into the Santa Muerte deck. And this one has two sides to it. So these are some of the things you get when you get a life path session or spirituality reading from me. Now, some people just want the tarot deck. Some people just want that, but I love to tap into the decks that deal with my spirituality and culture, my bloodline ancestors. So those readings are, especially powerful. They're all powerful, but because this is my gift. So all right, so these are some of the ones that I had pulled out, but this is dealing with Fet Gede and Dia de los Muertos. So Some of these I did show y'all already in the other deck. You got Nan Buklau. You got Madame La Lune. Obatala. We did Obatala with Oshala. Showed y'all Zaka, Legba. And, alright. Ayazan. Le Barons. Urzuli. We got the Urzulis. Alright, depending on which Urzuli. You don't want to fool with her. This one is kind of could go either way. And then you got Ilegua. You got the Simbi energy. I've showed y'all Yemeya in the other deck, and Ogun and Shango. This is the fiery Simbi right here. The fiery one. And of course, this season is all about the ancestors. It's all about the ancestors. Yeah, this one, the Urzuli Flambeau. Yes. Yep. The Oya Yansa. You got that. It's powerful, powerful energy. Work with that. Work with that. Of course, you got the Oshun again. Dambala. The different aspects of Dambala. Aida Wido. The creation, the source, the Marasa, the feminine and masculine aspect. All right, the fraternal twins or the twin flames or the twin souls, the different aspects of yourself, etc. Have the counterparts. You have the counterparts together. Like in this deck, we have Marie Laveau with Dr. John. All right, so this is all dealing with the feast of the ancestors, the feast of the Gede, the dead. All right. So these are just some of the things that you will encounter because I use these as a visual thing so that whoever I'm reading for or doing a session for, they get a visual. And it does help them tap in. So, all right. So, yes, we have the Haitian Creole and the Louisiana Creole. We got this voodoo, all right, with the Loas and the Orishas, which I just showed y'all, you know, some cards that tap into the different energies. Most definitely. Let me see who in the chat. Anybody in the chat? Let's see. Y'all quiet tonight. I guess it is 1 o'clock in the morning. So Osta Sanale to you. Osta Sanale to you. And those are just some of the decks that I deal with. I even deal with the Melungeon bloodline. They have a mixture of a lot of things. So I do have some Hindustan things. And this one is the Kali Oracle. Y'all don't want to fuck with that Kali energy. Y'all don't want to do it. So, I mean, I got several decks that I use to tap into. You know, I flow with what the spirit is giving me and what I see on the cards. And then I do look and see, what they meant their card to mean. You know, so I just tap in, I tune in. So if you want your spirit astrology reading session, spirit astrology session, or life path session, get at me. Look in the description box. This is just, a little short, just giving honor to my ancestors' spirituality and culture, and letting y'all know that I'm doing specials on, readings, life path sessions. All right. So you can deal with the Orishas or the Loas. You can deal with mojo bags and candles and all of that goodness. You can work with the specific veves, which call on the entities, which is just an aspect of the source. All right. Voodoo deals with the forces of nature. All right. Hoodoo deals with the herbs and the roots. And when I say the forces of nature, like earth, air, fire, water, these different energies represent one of those energies. It's just how spirit shows up in your life to help you tap in. All right. Like I said, hoodoo has healing herbs and roots, herbal medicine like Palo Santo, sage, all those herbs and roots that you can take into your body to heal, whether you're making tinctures or you want to make teas, or you want to rub it on your body to heal. You want to eat it, or you want to smudge it, light it, and let the smoke, go over your body to heal it. So, and then you have the spiritual medicine. All right. I am a Jaguarxi. All right. An apprentice of Great Spirit, dealing with spiritual medicine. If y'all look at some of my early videos, if you're new to my channel, if you go way back, I've built medicine wheels in my backyard. I've gone to prominent medicine wheels outside, and which I will not name on here, but dealing with the animal spirits versus the zodiac astrology. I deal with the animal spirits, and I give you what what your zodiac is, but let's delve into some deeper things dealing with your animal spirits. And everybody has a complement, an opposite that is your complement. So it's really like 6 pairs. All right. So whether you deal with I deal with several animal spirits. Everybody has like 9 that surround you from all corners, within and outside of yourself. You deal with 9. We can, do a reading on that if you request that. Herbal tips. This is why it's RRJXI tips, because I give herbal and spiritual tips along with your reading or your spirituality session. All right. Then we got Carundismo. All right. Dealing with, these baths, these water baths and the herbs, and lighting candles and using eggs and different things. All right. This is a good book for this. All right. Carundismo. Limpias Espirituales. Ancient Mesoamerican shaman cleansing rites is to cleanse. Use these different herbs to cleanse yourself. You can use eggs, water, fire, candles, smoke. The smoke of the herbs to heal. All right. So I'm gonna share one. Out of this book for y'all. Let's see which one. Cleansing and rebirth. We can do the way to purification and revitalization, transformation and renewal. Let's look at this one. And I love this because they have the sacred symbols in here. This book all marked up because I've been delving into it. And a lot of this stuff, I tapped into it. And I was doing this stuff before I even got the books. And then the books, gave me another perspective of it. And then let me know why I was doing what I was doing. Let's see. And this delves into also what the Toltec Oracle. So if you get a reading, spirituality session, that deals with it. And so if y'all tuning in, I might pull a couple of cards, general cards for the collective. But if you want your own specific, you got to get at me through my link tree. It's RRJXI Tips on my link tree. You can either go to my website or you can go to my store and purchase my products. So your reading or your session will be specifically for you. All right. But on here, I just give general unless, I'm feeling generous and, people are hitting up my Cash App as a, just show of appreciation. I might answer a couple of questions or pull a couple of cards. So this is like, they got a lot of this from the books of Chilam Balam. Now, the Ekbalam and the Chilam Balam, okay, you have the Jaguar warriors and the spiritual things that go with that. So you have the Olmec, the Tamoancan, the Maya, the Itzamaya, the Moche. You have all of these dark indigenous people in Central and South America. All right. And they passed down a lot of their knowledge down to the Toltec. The Toltec, they did preserve a lot of spiritual knowledge. That's why I rocks with it. Let's see. Let's go here. 38. All right. This deals with, okay. The Mexica deal with having a Nual, a Nagual, or a spirit guide. But they give a background in this book, and they talk about duality, the feminine and the masculine complementing each other. Different divinations to do. So this book is really good. For that. And it just breaks down also the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar. I do have the calendar that's written on that sacred paper from those sacred trees. I did journey to Chichen Itza, the Yucatan, so y'all can check out my previous video. If you're not subscribed to my channel, when you come to my channel, that's the first video you see is the one where I went to the Yucatan to Chichen Itza. I did a spiritual journey there, and it was fucking awesome. All right. So they tap into the Yucatec Maya in here in this book. Not only is the Jaguar, I deal with the masculine aspect of the Jaguar, in the spiritual, mental, physical warrior aspect of it. And then y'all know that eggshell is like the fertility, the feminine aspect. All right. Yes, I have pulled her card a couple of times for myself, but I mainly deal with the Nagual of my Mesoamerican sign, which is Tezcatlipoca. All right. We got Tezcatlipoca, which is the smoky mirror, the black obsidian mirror, where you see yourself and you deal with your shit and you get your shit right when you're doing some self-healing. All right. It's also used for other things in divination that we won't discuss here, but the healer type of energy where you can do self-evaluation, self-care, etc. But let's see. I'm gonna read one of these and just give y'all one of these limpias for cleansing rites on how to cleanse, because we approaching, this is Libra season. All right. Gulana, the crow, the raven season. The crow steps outside of time, is the source. Some spirituality systems see the crow, the raven, as the mother, the source of all things, the black hole of the universe, the womb, the portal, is outside of time, etc. I'm gonna share one of these recipes with y'all. I'm just looking through to see which one I'm gonna share with y'all. But y'all can get this book. I even got the Popol Vuh in my library. The Chilam Balam, I do have. It's in another, it's in Spanish, basically. Some of those friars interpreted it. All right. The Platica, the rites of the Mexica. Okay, ejecting unwanted energies from the body. So this is dealing with Curandismo. All right. So ejecting unwanted energies from the body. All right. In Curandismo, platicas are heart strengthening talks in which a person vocalizes and releases that which weighs heavy in their heart. And so to facilitate a healing, purification, renewal, or rebirth, a platika serves as a way to purge toxic emotions and imbalances, to enable one to begin to stand in one's own power. All right, and beseech metaphysical help or spiritual help. All right, the curandera, all right, sets and holds a sacred space for this type of limpia. Ask questions to facilitate the purge. You are doing a purge, all right? Purge, realization, and renewal in saying prayers or words of power or magical invocations calling for divine aid. You calling for spiritual guidance and assistance, right? A platika can also be a way to determine what other, if any, kind of limpia may be helpful or necessary. Platikas are different from standard therapy. All right. The latter typically focuses on simply healing the mind or the psyche of the client. All right. Who may have to go to another source for spiritual or physical healing. So you can deal with spiritual, mental, and physical healing. All right. Sometimes you get it all in one person with Karandismo. Sometimes you may go to, another source for, another thing that you need. All right. But for the ones that deal with spiritual, mental, and physical, the mind, body, and spirit, and soul during a platika. All right. So even with the Mexica and the Yucatec Maya, platikas often identified them as confessions, where you verbally just get that shit out. It's like uh, verbally talk therapy. You get that shit out. Um, and this is kind of like where the Catholics got their confessions from, right? Where you confess your sins, etc., right? So sometimes to speak it, to get it out, to just purge. This is a purging. This platica is a purging in Carontismo, right? All right. Then it says, because let me see. All right. It says confessions both deal with your wrongdoings, the absolution of your wrongdoings, through confession and prayer, or confession and affirmations. Okay, that's more proactive, right? This is mentioned indeed. It's great, graceful, and poetic. All right, it is more than just saying words to get it out. It's a purging, right? The context of these ancient platikas reveal that they contain shamanic elements. They use shamanic, for lack of a better word, whether that's a spiritual, mental, or physical healer. All right. So it deals with tapping into a person, like not just on this realm, but their being on different realms, spiritual, mentally, and physically, but on a whole nother level. And it's dealing with purification, energetic releases, rebirth, and renewal. Um, and I need to pull up this book at a later date. I need to get caught up on, sharing with y'all, because I've been busy on my other partnership channels. One for advertisements and promos with Master's Table Talk with me and my cuz. Maclu the Don with Vibe Spa, and then RRJXI Tips, and then Southeastern Taco Stick with my cuz Chatu Pie. So I'm going to be on here a little more and getting back with my people. I've left a plethora of videos to help y'all, along the way to tap in. But, I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better, y'all. All right. So these are just different rights. Let me find one that okay, this one deals with Tezcatlipoca, one of my rulers in Mesoamerican astrology. Okay. So with dealing with this one is talking about releasing your wrongdoings when you do wrong shit to people or to yourself. When you do wrong shit to yourself or when you do wrongdoings to another person, this is releasing it, getting it out, right? It's dealing with emotional and mental woes, illnesses. Because when you hold that shit in, dis-ease, you holding that shit in, you need to let that shit out and be free. All right. Find somebody that is a trusted spiritualist, reader, therapist, and let that shit out. So this is basically like where therapists got their game from. Things like Carondismo. All right. This is just one aspect. But Tezcatlipoca deals with divination, rulership, jaguars, sorcery, beauty, war, and strife. It is usually the guide of the warrior, spiritual, mental, physical warrior. This is one of my Mesoamerican astrology rulers. Yeah, and they give an exercise on how you can use the black obsidian mirror to basically heal yourself. So this is a good book for y'all to get. This is a lot. This is kind of like a, touching base with y'all. And for my new subscribers to see, what I deal with, what you can get if you get a life path session, life path reading, or spirituality session from me. But that's a good one. Finding someone to talk to that is trustworthy. As spiritualists, readers, diviners, all these derivatives, we respect your privacy. All right? We respect your privacy. So what you revealed to me as I'm reading you or doing a session with you is confidential. It is confidential. Okay? So they give different rights or different formulas and exercises you can do in using Carondismo. All right. This is another one. Since it is, they have some sacred ceremonies in here. This is one of the kind of, I want to say, the ones that people can use, and they doing it without knowing what it's called. All right. You're smudging. Like this one is dealing with a sacred ceremony where you are like sweeping the energy away from you. You are smudging it or sweeping it away from you. Any negativity. It deals with, they have different ones that you can do to deal with depression, anxiety, stress, insomnia, broken hearts, anger, shock. And if somebody out there is dealing with some envious, fucked up energy, this is a way to sweep that shit away from you. This is one recipe I'll share with y'all because it's RRJXI tips. I give tips, right? So this one is talking about you can get Epsom salt, rubbing alcohol, dry plants such as basil, rosemary, chamomile, rue. I love to work with rue. Mint and tobacco, sacred tobacco. I rocks with it, right? Parsley to help clear dense energies. All right, you want to like prep the area before you doing all of this. So they just give you different exercises if you do want to practice Carondismo. So the Jaguar and the Eagle Warriors, they learned about all this. They learned about the spiritual, mental, and the physical aspects of being a warrior or warrioress. All right. And if y'all look at my, my social media platform, especially on Facebook, I have given, different herbal recipes over the years. Okay. So these are just some herbal tips. I'll just share them with you now. In hoodoo, we deal with St. John the Conqueror root. All right. We also deal with St. John's wort. All right. To combat depression, you can deal with St. John's wort, sage, bergamot, damiana, but damiana deals with some sexual energy. Two, chives, geranium, echinacea, rose hips, or sunflower petals. For anxiety and stress, you can use echinacea, lemon balm, basil, chamomile, sage, lavender, bergamot, or cilantro. If you can't sleep, you can deal with, of course, chamomile, sage, peppermint, valerian, passion flower, lemongrass, damiana, because damiana gets you real relaxed. Don't play with damiana, y'all. All right, lemon balm, thyme, chives, fresh flowers from an orange or a lemon tree to deal with broken hearts, dandelion, peppermint, rosemary, lavender, geranium, lemon, thyme, basil, or red roses. And see, they're giving these herbal tips, which is similar to the hoodoo herbs and roots. All right. And I even have, because it's a mixture, the healing herbs of American Indians, or some would say Native Americans. All right. So different herbal books. All right. For y'all to get if y'all want to get them. All right. So to deal with anger, somebody that's just, you feel yourself being angry for no reason, you just like on one in a bad way. You can use basil, mugwort. Mugwort gives you vivid dreams too, but mugwort, oregano, lavender, chamomile, or peppermint. All right. And to combat somebody that is envious around you, you can use snapdragon, crushed dill seed, geranium, chamomile, or parsley. All right. So these are just some little tips. So Carondismo you deal with some herbs and herb baths. You mix the earth and the water energy together. All right. All right. With this one, okay. So this one is talking about the ritual objects and offerings that you make to your dead loved ones. All right. During the 9th month. All right. You give them flowers. In the 10th month, the Great Feast of the Dead. All right. Of the calendar. You can give chocolate, fowl. That's like a bird. All right. Chicken. All right. Oil. Fruit, great quantities of seed, food, and candles. These offerings attracted the deceased, and again, the candle likely served as a conduit to temporarily house and welcome the deceased into the realm of the living. These feasts and festivities resemble our current Dia de los Muertos celebrations or Fagete. These feasts, okay, they are usually for 3 days. All right. Festivities for the deceased will continue for 20 days during these 2 months. So basically, October and November, that's when I celebrate. I go hard. Even when I was younger, I was drawn to this. But anyway, so October and November, them are my extra spicy months because I'm just immersed in this. It's a part of my ancestry. Those that came before me practiced a lot of these things, so I am thankful that Judeo-Christianity could not hold me back from me tapping into my ancestor spirituality and cultures. They even talk about the new fire ceremony, like after you get rid of shit and you drop off your fucking baggage and you have a renewal, so you have a new fire ceremony. All right. And these things are demonstrated in the different codices. Like, this is why I rocks with the Toltec Oracle, because it's patterned after the codices. Like I'll show you a card that just, they're all patterned after the codices. But like Ekato, the wind spirit, the air element, this is patterned after the codices. All right. So Carondismo, like I said, the Toltec, they preserved a lot of the spiritual knowledge. All right. And that's why I rocks with it. All right. So this is a cleansing rites of Carondismo. All right. So they give you different recipes and things to do to heal yourself or to heal others. And these herbs and roots is kind of like a herb encyclopedia on how to heal yourself or help others heal themselves, or etc. Right? So this one was talking about the Feast of the Dead. All right. And different offerings to give your ancestors around this time, during this time. And it's like a party. It can be 3 days, November 1st through the 3rd. You also have for all my people that practice Santeria. I practice a gumbo pot. So if y'all know, that's why I am the ancestral shapeshifter. I tap into many of my ancestors' bloodline, spirituality, and cultures. So y'all gotta know that about me, especially you new viewers. All right. So it talks about you can do this for 3 days, but previously it was done for 2 whole months. And I celebrate October and November. I go hard. Those that know me know. Yeah. So they deal with the fire of the candle could act as a bridge to other worlds. The fire of the candle could act as a bridge to other worlds, other dimensions, all of that. So y'all can tap in. So these are just, I shared some book sources with y'all. I did show some of the oracle decks that I have that I work with. And my first deck, I'm not going to show that the first deck that I ever had, but this was the second and third decks that I worked with years ago. And I still work with these to this day. And I love these because these are patterned after the actual codices, historical pictures that were left for us by our ancestors on how to live life. All right. So, all right, we got Currandismo, and that's it. So I'm going to close it here so y'all can, look at the things that I talked about with Currandismo and hoodoo, healing herbs and roots. So you have the healing herbs and roots. You got the hoodoo. Hoodoo is a mixture of also indigenous herbs and roots and some from the diaspora. All right. So you got these two things. These two books. These are good sources for herbs and roots. All right. And then this deals with the spiritual and herbal medicine. And then we got the voodoo that deals with the elements: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. All right. Just manifest it through these personalities, these different aspects of the source. All right. Fagete, Dia de los Muertos, to celebration of the ancestors. My gumbo pot. And I'm going to close out. And I'm going to give a shout out to everyone that has tuned in. I appreciate y'all. You are fucking awesome. So I hope y'all just, enjoyed my little, impromptu around this time. I'm celebrating. So y'all can also view me on my other partnership channels. And this is home. So y'all gonna see me, at home more often. Yes, I go and do my partnerships because I do value partnerships. But y'all gonna see me at home. Y'all gonna see me at home a little more, you know? And I appreciate y'all. I'm representing tonight. I represent October and November for sure. But my mama got me this. I love this. Is it? Okay. It lights up. It lights up. It lights up. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. So my book sources that I tapped into tonight are, I'm going to do this as I close out, as celebrating the Day of the Dead, Fekete and Dia de los Muertos. So these are complimentary, all right, with hoodoo, dealing with the herbs and the roots that heal spiritually, mentally, physically, all right, and with the voodoo, all right, whether that's Louisiana Creole voodoo or Haiti Haitian Creole voodoo, all right. We got the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. All right. And then I deal with the Toltec Oracle and Corundismo. They complement each other because this book also gives the history that the Toltecs preserved and where they got some of these recipes and rituals and sacred ceremonies from to heal yourself or heal others spiritually, mentally, and physically. And I love that this is patterned after the codices. And you see that this has some pictures from the codices, the codexes, petroglyphs, hieroglyphs, translation. All right. So, and I also deal with the sacred stones and rocks. I deal with the Medicine Woman Tarot. I deal with the Native Spirit Oracle decks. And these two complement each other. This one for Fekete and Mardi Gras. All right, celebrations. And the Santa Muerte deck. Yeah. And then you turn it around. Yeah. So, you get a life path session or spirituality session with me. This is what you get. And I have other decks. I deal with my Brujas. Shout out to my Brujas. I dabble. I'm the ancestral shapeshifter. I am the Creole indigenous spiritualist, so I tap into a lot of things. So you will get a well-rounded reading if you get one from me. Unless you just flowing on some specifics and you just saying, oh, I just want this deck. But I'm still going to flow with spirit too, just so you fucking know. But some people, they ask for this deck or that deck. Some people, they just know I'm going to flow in the spirit. Whether you ask for that deck or not, I'm going to flow with the spirit. So I'm going to sign out. I just want to say, Wado Yakoki, Shona Bischi, merci beaucoup. Gracias, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight and who will tune in. Catch me on my partnership channel tomorrow, 7:30, Southeastern Talking Stick Podcast, and check me and my cousin out, Masters Table Talk, for our promo and advertisements of our products and services. All right, y'all. It's been wonderful. And thank y'all. Shout out to everybody who bought, some of my products. I have a whole bathroom set. I have shirts, I have sweatshirts, I have mugs, wine tumblers, water bottles, yoga, workout gear. Go to my store. Look at the description. Look at the description of this video. It has my links, so y'all can go to my link tree, or RRJXI Tips on Linktree, and it will have a link to my store and my website. My website is how you can get at me to get your reading, your spirit astrology session or life path reading. All right. And you can go in my store. You can reach my store to get my products. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. I love y'all. Peace.